Greetings. Hey, it's Susie Q. Apparently, I just found this written piece that I did. I don't even know when it was, but there's different progressions of what we call the Akashic Records, and then moving into automatic writing, and also noticing that some of these states of consciousness are really helping us. Like you could say it's our records, or the Book of Life, or the Book of Souls, or anything you want to call it. Or you could just say, I'm just kind of getting some guidance. So it's really a fun space to be in. So with this, sometimes I get kind of tongue twisted with some of the words because this is not normally how I speak or how I normally write. So I was a business owner and it was totally different vibe, but all these energies, I think, are helping us feel lighter, brighter, and getting more divine purposes and more divine lessons. And so, but we're going to do this one here in just a moment. But I just wanted just to let you know that everyone has the capacity and the joy and pleasure of having more guidance. And whatever name it is for them, I call it the Akashic Records. But whatever it is that you're working with, just, if you have some little guidance or something, beautiful awareness of something, write it down and see if you might get something more from that. If you just get one word or a phrase or a sentence, or it could be a space or whatever, but that would be really, really fun. So I'm going to pop over here, and then we're going to start with the automatic writing now. All right. From the tower's perspective, there are insights to glean. Universal studies abound for ripening your untapped and innate qualities that now are spinning into this field. Reservoirs of knowledge are known for some, and others are beginning to have glimpses of their own expressions of lives beyond this now. All right, so we're going to go to another segment now. In a progression of density-rich steps, the ground below falls away, and there I stand. I begin to take a step forward. A crystalline grid comes up for an unknown origin to create a platform for me to step upon. Looking below, I recall the photos of the icebergs where the above iceberg is so evident, and then looking below the surface of the water staggers my own mind-thought reality. Noticeably aware, I come to understand that in times of uncertainty, I am able to adjust to newer ways of being, thereby standing tall in times of appearances of void or scarcity. A new insight awakens my spirit to just take one step. All right, so we have another segment here. Lesson 1 of the Akashic Records of Susie Q. In a cafe, one of my most special and magical friends appears. We will call her Shirley. Shirley, she's the one that smiles easily and often and simply puts everyone she knows into a state of pure happiness. Listening to her stories is like a window to the living life on the other side of the moon. She has a way of telling stories that seem far more mystical than magical. On her travels, she has gleaned higher purposes as newer ways of looking at life. With this childlike spirit, she always shines her beautiful light wherever she goes, and thankfully so, I will do the same. All right, so we have another segment, Lesson 2 of the Akashic Records of Susie Q. These are kind of tongue twisters for me. All right, final lesson came in as a vision under the sea. As I walked to this place, there was a film effect of water with no apparent moisture. This majestic place, as far as the eye could see, was a kingdom at the bottom of the sea. Approaching what appeared to be a door, I simply opened the door and arrived to a most whimsical place. It was not of this world. The colors and shapes of things were so delightful, my spirit soared in this place. I entered the record with nothing, and inside this place was everything. Each space I went to felt as though I created everything that I could see. Going into a new space, again, I believe that I was instantly creating everything. Amazing awareness and lucidity drew me in more closely to observe the smallest of details. In total, there were 3 women, including me. Looking back at these insights of these women, I now realize those women were all me. There were men, they were taking care of things. They were funny and their costumes made me smile. Each and everything whimsical to my heart's spirit was created by my curiosity, playful mind. It's so funny. All right, so lesson 3 of the Akashic Records of Susie Q. From the tower of power beyond thought, we each and all create at will exactly what we are asking for. If your asking is producing an outcome that was not exactly what you desired, ask again in a new way. See this as a game. You prepare your best ask. Then the powers that may be, meaning you, always states an astounding and glorious yes, yes, as you wish, as you wish. Poof, now what? It's always a great day to upgrade. Think a thought and create. Energy precedes thought. Ask from your highest understanding of this, your life, up level, and your ask. Your tower of powerful insights is a welcoming home that best meets you where you are in this present moment of now. All right. That was a lot of stuff. I mean, sometimes when I'm like, reading it, because it's one thing to be a writer and to recollect some of the Akashic Records or dream states or lucid states is really it's different when you have to read it, because these are very, very powerful agents of change. And so as we were going through different levels of progression with some of the storyline, we get to go a little bit deeper, and again, it was kind of like the ocean, that the going down into the sea. And then we start noticing that there were 3 women and I was one of them. And then all of a sudden I was everybody. I was in essence everything and every being. So all of these states of consciousness are kind of bringing us into more of a powerful way of accessing, more goodness and more coolness, right? And I think each one of us is really ready to have a better experience with life and getting more guidance from maybe the Akashic Records, or maybe from, something that you're reading, whatever guidance that you're getting for yourself. Go into it, dive deep. That one was that in the ocean, that diving deep. And even that part of the story where there were no more steps and all of a sudden a crystalline grid, got me to stand in that space, So all of these things are powerful. Let's just say that, that it's been a while that we've been kind of sitting and resting and kind of looking around, but I think this is a great opportunity to go for it, to really dive deeper with some of the states of consciousness that you may be working with, or just acknowledging yourself that you are a powerful divine being. And it's for everybody, even the Akashic Records or the Book of Life or Book of Souls or any of these other insight pieces would be helpful for you. So the more that you go into some of these different states, it could be in a lucid dream, it could be in a daydream, or maybe you start getting some, like I always get these beautiful energies that come through. It's usually from the right side, and that's where it all began back in 2008, was I was getting guidance from a proper English woman. And that's when it started for me, and it was the first day of 2008. So these are energies are very awesome, groovy, and interesting and provocative. And so when we look at some of the written pieces, again, sometimes I flub when I'm reading it because it's not the way that I normally talk. So Obviously, it's totally different. So whatever you're, wishing to create or have into your field, or bring more power into your. Oh, I'm like, here I am, people. Is that you start, accessing what you really want. What do you want right now? What is the best thing for you right now? What else do you need to know? What else do you need to discern about what's next for me? Just if you could just do one thing, just like, okay, so I'm going to make a promise that I'll wake up early in the morning, or whatever. You can just make one little promise. You start working with one little promise and see what happens. And again, with my Akashic records, the stuff comes in super fast. It's a frenzy, when I'm looking at the Akashic records and I'm busy with other stuff. It's a frenzy for me to just make a couple of words or phrase. Usually it's a couple words. Sometimes it's one word, and then I can go back into that Akashic record if I'm busy with other stuff. So these are all cool things. So we'll see you soon, and namaste.